Welcome back to Colorado Sports Connection. We're talking with Ron Zappolo, and I'm telling you, the time is going by
Goes
fast.
too fast, yeah.
And Ron, talk a little bit about the sports now from 1977 all the way up to 2011 and the changes that you've seen for the better and some not so good.
For the better, I think that, all of these teams in Denver, these organizations, I think are striving to be great, which if you're a sports fan in Denver is terrific. I think the negative thing is that when I see it now, it costs so much for a guy who's got a wife and 2 kids to take the family even to a baseball game, which used to be cheap. Now by the time you park and get the tickets and something to eat, just the expense of going to do it, that's the big change that I see.
One of the things, talking about changes, is since you've left, it seems like all the sportscasters today, everybody's trying to be funny and trying to find that different mark like
they
Chris
see it
Berman.
they see it on ESPN. They think that's their route to get there.
Now, is that more of the directors from these TV stations telling the sportscasters what to do, or
I think it's
why the change?
People were looking to, hit it rich. But I think if you're going to be a sportscaster and you're going to be in a market for a long time, just be consistent and be good. And I think people will flock to you. I think if you're consistently good, you don't have to be great, you don't have to hit a home run every night, but just be consistently good. The audience will find you. But a lot of people want to make their mark right away and zoom up, and sometimes where you are is better than where you're going. If you can just be good, people will find you. You'll build an audience.
So everybody will gravitate towards you?
Sure. I'm coming back, Daryl.
You know what? That's, speaking of coming back.
At some point, I'm coming back.
I have to bring this up. Here it is. Okay, you're out of sports. You've been with Fox 31 News for, what, 11 years?
11 years.
Okay. Here it is. It's announced. John Elway's back with the Denver Broncos.
Right. We went out there that day.
Who's there? Ron Zappolo.
I was there, yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, they wanted me to go out and interview Elway, and I was the guy, because I had a long relationship with him, I was the guy in our place that knew him the best, so they asked me, would you go out and do the interview? And because I'm very careful about not stepping on any of our guys' toes or Josina. They all do a great job, and it's their deal. I used to do it, now I do something else. But that day they asked me to go do Elway because I knew him, so I went out and did him for my show, and we used him on the news, and it was fun that day to go back and see all the fellas and everybody. It was fun.
I'm not saying this just because you're sitting next to me, but I'm watching all the interviews with Elway, that took place that day. But I tuned in to Zappolo's People, which you can catch on Sunday nights.
Thank you, Daryl, for the plug. Thank you.
At 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you what, Elway seemed the most comfortable with you.
Well, I've done the most interviews with him, so I mean, over a 20-year period, I did a lot of interviews. So he was probably semi-comfortable sitting down with somebody that he knew for a long time, and that I did that show with him for years and years and years. So he was probably comfortable. I was just glad that he sat down and did it with me.
Well, the guys behind the camera are telling me that we're going to have to wrap up. This has been a quick and an enjoyable 30 minutes. Now, hopefully you'll come back because
I'll come back.
We have Doug Moe coming up in,
I'll come back for
in a couple of weeks.
I'll come back to embarrass
I'm going to have
him.
to make that a 1-hour show.
I'll come back anytime you want, Daryl.
Ladies and gentlemen, like I told you earlier, Colorado's best, and nobody brought you Colorado sports better than today's guest, Ron Zappolo. We hope you enjoyed today's show, and we'll see you next week right here on Colorado Sports.